WCBI News at 6 starts now.
Thank you for joining us tonight. I'm Quentin Smith. The flu is the first thing people think of when it comes to winter illnesses. But as this past week has shown, pneumonia is another sickness that needs to be taken seriously. Oxford native and ESPN reporter Ed Ashoff died this week from pneumonia just days after a Tupelo 7-year-old was also killed by the illness. We speak with a local doctor who has more on what you need to know.
Pneumonia is basically an infection of the lung tissue in there too. There can be so many different germs. I mean, viruses can do that too. They are self-limiting. Bacterial can do that too. There can also be self-limiting.
Dr. Naeem Ramon says those infections are nothing to just brush off. It's tempting to say it's just a cold, but what happens with pneumonia is it opens the doors for other infections.
So on top of that, if you're exposed to some other organism on top of it, your immune system not being so strong, you can actually get a secondary infection, which in fact actually you can say cold can turn into a serious kind of pneumonia. But might not be the same organism, might be a secondary organism getting its chance once your immune system has really dropped.
Catching the illness early is key and quite simple.
Signs and symptoms: if you cough, sputum being expectorated, feeling short of breath. But in general, the pneumonia is a radiologic diagnosis based on the chest x-rays. If you see that, that's very clear. But sometimes we can diagnose without this thing showing on the x-ray just by listening to the lung. You can actually hear some extra abnormal sound in those areas of the lung.
Dr. Ramon urges people to take the first signs of the sickness seriously.
In general, if anybody actually feels sick, out of ordinary, out of normal, always make sure you seek medical attention, especially in this weather when it's getting cold, because things actually can deteriorate much faster, sometimes within a few hours, because we have had some recent examples of some young people actually have died for the same reasons.
We now know the names of the 3 people killed in a horrific car crash in Pickens County Friday night. Coroner Chad Harless identifies the victims as Joe Knox and brothers Horace and Jeffrey Armstrong. All 3 are from Pickens County. The accident happened on Highway 32 just across the state line from Knoxville County. A total of 5 people were inside the SUV. All of the men killed in the crash were ejected after the vehicle flipped multiple times. The driver and front seat passenger were flown to a Birmingham hospital, and at this time there's no update on their condition. Alabama state troopers are investigating this accident. A driver accused of having 4 times the legal blood alcohol level crashes into a Columbus police cruiser over the holidays. 39-year-old Terrence Brock of Steens is charged with DUI, operating a vehicle in an inattentive manner, and following too closely. Now, that crash happened just before 10 p.m. on Christmas Eve at the intersection of Yorkville Road and Highway 69. Brock is accused of hitting the police car while it was stopped at a red light. Both cars involved were totaled. The officer was treated and released at Baptist Golden Triangle. Now, since this involves the Columbus Police Department employee and vehicle, the Lowndes County Sheriff's Office is now investigating. The victim in a fatal Christmas Day car accident in Lee County has now been identified. 78-year-old Linda McMinn of Morville died yesterday when her vehicle left the road and hit a tree. The Highway Patrol says McMinn was traveling east on Highway 178 just before 1:30 p.m. near Morville when the crash happened. Troopers said she died at the scene. MHP is investigating this accident. And Linda McMinn was one of 3 people to lose their lives on state highways during the Christmas holiday travel period. Mississippi Highway Patrol says more than 2,500 tickets were written and 39 DUI arrests were made. There were also 116 crashes. The other deadly accidents were in Hinds and Copiah counties. The holiday travel began on Monday and ended last night. However, MHP's Home for the Holidays initiative will continue through the end of the year. Columbus police released the name of a second suspect allegedly involved in a deadly shooting. On your screen is Demorio Sanchez Price Ewing of West Point, and he's wanted for an accessory after the fact charge. Investigators say he's about 5 foot 7 inches tall and weighs 137 pounds. If you know where he is at tonight, you're asked to contact the Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers. Now, you may remember that shooting happened on December 19th inside an abandoned house on 17th Street South. 18-year-old Shaquavius White of West Point is charged with manslaughter and the shooting death of 18-year-old Xavier Dora. Police Chief Fred Shelton says investigators believe Ewing aided in the crime but did not release what those actions allegedly were. Shelton says if someone is hiding the West Point man, they could also be charged with the crime. Now again, if you have any information, you're asked to contact Golden Triangle Crime Stoppers, and remember, you can report anonymously.
Well, we've been seeing some drizzle and some mist in a few spots, including right in downtown Tupelo on our Skycam earlier. Still a little bit of shallow moisture in some places here, but not a very soggy day. Just some sprinkles and a few passing showers in spots with a mostly cloudy sky. That's been the story for us on this day after Christmas. Now, we've gotten a lot of great viewer pictures here of some rainbows across Oktibbeha County. This one came from Oktok. John and Leanne Long sent that in to us. Lots of great photos, of course, on our social media. Moving forth, we will likely be seeing a mostly cloudy sky with some isolated sprinkles continuing over the next 48 hours. Heading into the weekend, though, there's some chance for some rain and storms. That brings some cooler weather on the backside. Details on that coming up in just a bit.
Just as the Christmas shopping season ends, the returns begin. Shoppers in Columbus made their way to the stores this morning. Returns, exchange, and even after Christmas sales were all drawing people in. Experts say you should keep your ID handy, keep the receipts, and keep the items in the original box. Now, some retailers say they expect more or just as many returns on Saturday because Christmas falls so closely to the weekend. Mississippi's agriculture industry saw a slight increase in value, thanks in part to $628 million in federal payments. Poultry production was down 3% all across the state. Overall totals for row crops dropped 6.5%. MXU Extension Service experts say the U.S.-China tariff standoff had a major impact on crop markets and production this year. Cotton and soybeans had the largest relative losses. Livestock production was down 2%, raking in an estimated $388 million, and catfish production was up 5%. Well, people have been scratching to win the Mississippi Lottery for about 3 weeks now. So far, the games have racked up about $20 million in sales, and as we roll into the new year, more games are coming. Our Joey Barnes has this story.
Mississippians have an itch and are scratching to win. The State Lottery Commission continues to roll out new games in an effort to lure more players and keep its momentum going.
If you put all of your games out at once, that could create chaos. And we want to make sure that everybody knows exactly what they're doing, whether it comes to playing or being the retailer who has to sometimes teach the players how to play.
In the first 2 weeks of the lottery, there were more than $17 million in total sales. Many retailers are taking note. To apply, store owners must pass a background and credit check, work with their bank, and receive training. The process can take up to 30 days. Now, more and more places are signing up to get players in their business.
I think some retailers were hanging back just to see how the lottery would be received by players. And since they've seen such a great deal of excitement, we have continued to get applications in since we launched, and that number grows every day.
The first several weeks have also seen several winners. However, if you don't want anyone to find out about your jackpot, there's a way to do that.
So we found that Mississippi is pretty unique in the sense that you can stay anonymous if you're a winner. And most people so far who have won $600 or more, they come to our claim center to redeem their winning ticket. A lot of people have chosen to stay anonymous.
In Lowndes County, Joey Barnes, WCBI News.
Now, the Lottery Commission will still roll out several new games. Powerball and Mega Millions will start at the end of January. What does Aunt Becky and El Chapo have in common? Well, they both made headlines in 2019. We take a look back after the break. Stay with us. Welcome back. More mass shootings, disgraced financier Jeffrey Epstein died in jail, and a widespread college admissions scam involving Hollywood actresses. Tom Hansen looks back at the top national stories of 2019.
A massive college admissions scandal dubbed Operation Varsity Blues ensnared dozens of wealthy parents, including Hollywood actresses Felicity Huffman and Lori Loughlin. Federal prosecutors charged them with paying mastermind Rick Singer to get their children into elite universities.
For every student admitted through fraud, an honest, genuinely talented student was rejected.
Amazon founder Jeff Bezos accused the publisher of the National Enquirer of trying to blackmail him with lewd photos and explicit text messages between the billionaire and a woman he was having an affair with. Around the same time, Bezos announced his separation from his wife Mackenzie. The divorce made his ex one of the richest women in the world. Wealthy financier Jeffrey Epstein was found dead in his New York City jail cell while he awaited trial on sex trafficking charges. The medical examiner ruled it a suicide. A federal court in New York convicted and sentenced Mexican drug lord Joaquin El Chapo Guzman to life in prison. Nearly 3 months after she disappeared, 13-year-old Jamie Kloss turned up alive in January after escaping from the man who kidnapped her and murdered her parents. A lawyer read her statement in court.
He thought that he could own me, but he was wrong. I was smarter.
Former Chicago police officer Jason Van Dyke was sentenced to more than 6 years in prison for killing Laquan McDonald in 2014. Dashcam video showed Van Dyke shooting the 17-year-old more than a dozen times as he walked away from officers. During her sentencing, former Dallas police officer Amber Geiger hugged the brother of the man she was convicted of murdering. Geiger shot her neighbor Botham Jean in his own apartment. She claimed she thought it was her apartment and that he was a burglar.
Shots fired, second floor.
2019 saw more mass shootings across the U.S., including an attack inside a municipal building in Virginia Beach that left 12 dead. In August, 2 mass shootings less than a day apart at a Texas Walmart and an Ohio business district left 31 dead. Off the coast of Santa Barbara, a dive boat burst into flames, killing 34 people. Firefighters battled dozens of wildfires across California, including a massive one in Sonoma County that destroyed more than 100 homes and buildings and forced the evacuations of hundreds of thousands. The New England Patriots beat the LA Rams to win their 6th Super Bowl title, tying the Pittsburgh Steelers for the record. The U.S. women's national soccer team won its 2nd World Cup in a row as it continued to advocate for equal pay.
World champions!
The Nationals won their first ever World Series. And Washington's National Zoo said goodbye to giant panda Bebe, who went to China to join a breeding program. Tom Hansen, CBS News.
Bebe's trainer brought the panda's red ball with him to China so Bebe can continue to sleep with it tucked between his arms. Well, Jacob, we had some nice weather today. How long will this nice weather last?
You know, it really has been nice. We've been overall dry and quiet, but unfortunately, all good things come to an end here. Already have a level 1 risk issued for Saturday and Saturday night across parts of the region. Coming up after the break, we'll break down the threats and the timing for you right here. Don't go anywhere. We'll be right back.
WCBI First Alert AccuWeather Forecast with meteorologist Jacob Dickey.
Well, the nice and quiet weather continues. We've had only just a few spots of some drizzle and some mist in places. Temperatures right now are down into the low 60s and upper 50s in most spots with some clouds hanging out, perhaps a little fog, mist, drizzle, whatever you want to call it here. That will continue in places overnight tonight and likely even through the day on Friday. Now, here's a look regionally across the area. Notice there's some clouds in place all across the south and east here. A few little blips of green there showing some light rain, perhaps some sprinkles in spots, but there's not enough moisture to really show entirely what's happening, and it's also very shallow in nature. That means our radars are overshooting it and not able to give us a full picture of what's happening. Here's the forecast into the evening here. Still some isolated mist and drizzle with a mostly cloudy sky into tonight. That continues into tomorrow as well as our temperatures settle into the 50s. I think we'll get down to 54 in Columbus, 53 in Macon, Starkville at 52. I've got us at 51 overnight tonight in Oxford. Here's a look at Futurecast. Notice by tomorrow morning, still a few shades of green on the screen here. That is showing some of that light drizzle, some mist, perhaps a little fog, and some sprinkles into the area with that mostly cloudy sky continuing. And that very much is the story for us through the day on Friday. There will be some sunshine in a few places here and there, but we don't get a lot of blue sky tomorrow, it seems like. We'll have to wait until next week to get that into the region. So with some light sprinkles, a few passing showers, southeast winds will be between 3 and 8 miles an hour. as our temperatures climb generally into the middle 60s out there. I've got us at 68 in Kingville and in Detroit, 67 in Ethelsville and in Hubbardville, into the Golden Triangle, 66 in Winston, Mayhew at 67, New Hope will get up to 66, and then in North Mississippi, I've got Ingomar at 66, New Holka at 65, Smithville and Hamilton getting up to 67. Now, here's our next system coming on in here. It's over California and the Baja California, bringing in rain, snow, and even a little severe weather into the Los Angeles metro. That system will progress to the east all the way into the weekend, and that's where we get the chance for some of this severe weather as that line of storms comes in late Saturday night into the day on Sunday. We do have that level 1 risk for areas generally along and west of the Natchez Trace here. But let's talk about area-wide what we expect. Gusty winds and heavy rain, the main threat with the line of storms coming in late Saturday night to perhaps Sunday midday. And once that line clears out, then we will see things start to dry out into Sunday night. Cooler weather, though, on the backside, only into the middle 50s Monday and on Tuesday. Though that's actually right about where we should be this time of year.
I got to tell you, Jacob, I've gotten used to this good weather we've had the past few days, but now Mother Nature trying to rain on my parade.
You're right about that. I tell you what, we have dry weather. I could use a little more sunshine. That'll be here by Monday, though, so we've got something to look forward to.
All right, thank you so much, Jacob. The Bulldogs are in Nashville preparing for their bowl game. Let's find out who'll be on the center after the break.
WCBI Sports with Chris Bolton is brought to you by your local Ford dealers. Go further.
Just 4 days away until the Music City Bowl, today was the first day of practice for the Bulldogs in Nashville. But leading their offensive attack won't be the same quarterback Joe Moore had anticipated a week ago. Freshman quarterback Garrett Schrader looks to be out, and in to start his final game in maroon and white is graduate transfer Tommy Stevens. Now, in today's press conference, Moorhead stated that Schrader has an upper body injury. Reports say Schrader was involved in an altercation during last Friday's practice. Stevens now gets the nod and the opportunity to end his MSU career on a high note. Backing Stevens up for the bowl game is Keaton Thompson. Now, as you can see, Mississippi State takes on Louisville. That game will be at 3 o'clock Monday on ESPN. Now, me and Courtney Robb will be there covering everything, recapping the game. We'll take care of all that. So stay tuned with us as we'll give updates on that matchup when we're in Nashville. Now, over in Starkville, Ariana Hunter and the Louisville Wildcats taking on Horn Lake at the slam dunk at the hump. Here early in the first quarter, Hunter gets the steal. She makes a smooth right-hand layup off the glass, putting the Cats up 2-0 early. Then Hunter, full court pass down court. Jalen Ingram gets the ball, knocks down the three. The Cats take an early 5-0 lead. Then Hunter with the rock again. Built the Euro step between the defense, puts up another layup. She was balling on fire, adding on to the Cats' lead. Then Horn Lake, they just get tired of Hunter. So they double her. She throws a corner to Deshaunte Bragg, and she knocks down the three-pointer. Cats go up 14-2. And Louisville, they go on to get the win. Final score 49-26. Northwest Rankin taking on Tam Patterson and Corinth at the hump. First quarter, Q Wimsatt driving kick to Keto Wyndham for three. Corinth takes a quick 3-0 lead. Northwest Rankin, they respond. Matthew Mack, he dimes Brandon Singletary, who slips to the rim. He puts up the layup. That's good. Northwest Rankin up 3. Now, still in the first quarter, Kobe Belbro drive, one-handed pass to the corner. Mackey, Buck, that's good. Rankin goes up 4. Now, Corinth ball right here. Check out the ball movement as they swing it around. And eventually, Tam Patterson, he spots up and knocks down the 3. But Corinth, they don't come away with the win. They end up losing in this one. The final score, Northwest Rankin 63, Corinth 56. Now, the Lady Yellow Jackets, they take on Olive Branch. In the first quarter, Olive Branch, they locking up. Daya Buford, she gets the steal, hits a fast break, behind the back dribble, hezzy move, all the way to the rack for the and one finish. She takes the contact, but she'll miss the free throw. Now the Jackets, they start to fight back. Amaya Ford, she gets the rock right here. Hard dribble to the lane, knocks down the layup. The Jackets down 2 points. Then later on in the first, Ford with the ball again, splits through 2 defenders, keeps her dribble alive, gets all the way to the rim, little pull-up baby jumper off the glass. That's good to tie up the game. But Olive Branch, they start to pull away. They go ahead and get the win. The final score in this one, Olive Branch 69, Starkville 38. Then boys basketball at the slam dunk at the hump. Starkville boys, they beat East Iberville out of Louisiana 77-36. That gives them an 8-2 record, and they'll go on to play Tupelo tomorrow. That should be a great game at 4:30 at the Hump.
So Tommy Stevens gives his number called one last time to cap off his collegiate career.
Hopefully he'll be out there dominant. You know, his shoulders should be feeling good.
Yeah.
He might be looking like me out there when I was at Mississippi State.
Uh-oh, look out now, Chris.
Hey, intramural all-star.
Hey, that's right. Appreciate it, Chris. We'll have a last look at your forecast when we come back.
Well, Mother Nature has spoiled us with some nice weather these past few days. Another day tomorrow with perhaps a few sprinkles. Saturday overall, too, looks fine. I think the chance for stronger storms comes late Saturday night into Sunday. And, of course, we'll monitor that. Lots of sunshine, though, by Monday.
Spoiled is a good word, Jacob. I've been outside taking in this nice weather, but with this rain coming, I may just stay inside the house.
Yeah, you get Saturday to be outside, but then Saturday night and Sunday, most of the daytime should be okay, I think. But we'll watch and keep you updated, of course.
All right. Thank you so much, Jacob. Thank you all for tuning in with us tonight. Hope you have a good one.